All right, folks. So the Andrew Tate and Donald Trump story has really imploded over the past 24 hours. There are now protests taking place outside of the prison where the Tate brothers are being held. Their lawyer is also outside making pleas to Donald Trump. They're saying if the judge doesn't work with them, side with them, and release the brothers soon, then he's going to go directly to Donald Trump and have him get involved, which really wouldn't surprise me given Trump's affinity for really bad people who do really bad things. But it's all just gotten a lot crazier very recently. So I want to get into the story and talk about all of this stuff, Donald Trump's involvement, and what this attorney is saying about how Trump might get involved. But first and foremost, let me just give you some context on how we got here. So, of course, back in July, Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested in Florida by U.S. Marshals on serious charges against them. There have been a lot filed, and they were not filed by prosecutors in the United States, but rather the United Kingdom. Influencer Andrew Tate and his brother have been arrested in Miami after British authorities issued 38 new charges against them, including allegations of rape and sex trafficking, so very serious allegations. The United Kingdom's Crown Prosecution Service, otherwise known as CPS, released a statement saying that the two men had been arrested by U.S. Marshals on Saturday. Again, this was back in July. The CPS said it was, quote, seeking extradition for the two brothers, aiming to bring them to Britain to face a total of 59 charges. The CPS also said that Andrew was being charged with 7 further counts of very, very serious things, very bad things. The charges against Tristan include 2 counts of rape and 3 counts of trafficking. So, awful people who are doing awful things, and we've known this about them for quite some time. They are influencers, social media personalities who have existed on the right, who've gotten rich by being misogynistic pieces of trash. So, quite frankly, when these charges dropped, I think a lot of people's reaction was, yeah, sounds about right for who they are. But now, if you can even believe it, there are crowds of people outside of the prison where Andrew and Tristan Tate are being held, protesting for his release. They want this guy out on the streets again, despite the serious allegations against him and the plethora of evidence that prosecutors have gathered over the years. Just look at some of these folks who are protesting outside of this prison. And by the way, I want to say it's probably pretty easy to... What you're looking at in this video to me is just a bunch of losers who have too much time on their hands. Have they ever left their parents' basement? I'm not sure. Have they ever talked to a woman who was a willing participant in the conversation? I'm not sure. I don't think I can say that confidently that maybe they have. I don't think they probably have. These are a bunch of losers who have, again, far too much time on their hands. Go outside, find a hobby. Find a hobby. Do something that's not this, where you're making yourself look like a fool and endorsing people who are really, really bad people. And speaking about making yourselves look like fools, they started doing push-ups. Yeah, they started doing push-ups outside of the jail to protest in favor of Andrew Tate's release. They're all saying free Top G. Top G is the nickname for Andrew Tate. Just look at this. It is humiliating.
Like, is that not the Matrix? That fucking never heard of.
I don't even know what I'm looking at. These are all men, all people who really just need some companionship. They need a relationship, whoever they're into, whatever they're into, who can ground them and say, hey, you need to stop doing this shit. You just need to stop doing it. This is embarrassing. You are humiliating yourself. I mean, you look at some of these people's form. Their push-up form is terrible. Look at this guy. This guy with the no shirt on who thinks he's doing something. Got to get down a little bit lower, buddy, and not bend your back so much, but that's what he's doing. Just really, really embarrassing. And you know it's bad when some of the right-wing manosphere streamers who used to be aligned with Andrew Tate and supported him are saying that it's embarrassing. This is Sneeko, for example, who's a lunatic. He went on a heated rant about why the red pill, which is kind of like a term coined by Andrew Tate, is over after noticing only 30 people showed up to the Free Tate protest.
I should have known that like this event was gonna draw so many fucking like clout chasers.
Bro, yeah.
Nigga, 30 people showed up. Bro, protest. I told you the niggas is done, bro. I told you the red pill is dead. You know how much pushback I got for that? When I said the red pill is dead, they all started crying. This is proof. This protest here, and why I wanted to do the stream, is to show you this is the finale. The grand closing of this red pill cringe era.
The red pill cringe era is over as well. He also made fun of the people doing the push-ups, saying, I'm 45, divorced, doing push-ups for Tate. Yeah, it is pretty embarrassing. But now to get to the attorney who is invoking Donald Trump's name outside of the prison. So Andrew and Tristan Tate's lawyer, Joseph McBride, who, by the way, also fun fact, represented January 6th insurrectionists. you're curious about his clientele, if you couldn't tell from the representing Andrew and Tristan Tate, but nonetheless, he went on an insane tirade threatening to go to Donald Trump if the judge doesn't release the Tate brothers. And to be clear, he's not only threatened the judge, he's also threatening Donald Trump in a separate thing we're going to look at in just a moment, but this guy is unhinged. Just watch this.
And the truth of the innocence and the reasons why they should be released will be so overwhelming, will be so compelling, that if the decision goes the other way, we're all going to have to ask questions about what's going on here. And if we lose, and if this judge says, look, despite the compelling arguments, despite what you presented in front of me today, I'm still going to rule against you, then we will go straight to President Trump's office. We will go straight to Marco Rubio, because Andrew and Tristan Tate or any other American citizen cannot get extradited without the Secretary of State's signature. And we will say to him, I understand we have a long and lasting relationship with the United Kingdom, but don't forget that that relationship started when we took their tea and threw it into the damn water. Don't forget that that relationship started when we launched a revolution against that stupid king and his stupid wig and that godforsaken country.
So this guy is clearly insane, but, you know, as he's saying there, like, he might go to Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, and it seems like there's already an existing relationship there that he can rely on, because not only, again, did he represent a bunch of January 6th insurrectionists, but the Tates have a relationship with the Trump family. This is a New York Times article talking about how they got involved in the MAGA sphere. As his notoriety grew, Andrew Tate shrewdly courted Tucker Carlson and other media stars of the right, who in turn tapped into the brothers' loyal following to expand their own reach. Andrew also nurtured relationships with Donald Trump Jr. and his younger brother, Barron, who recognized the role that young male voters could play in their father's return to power. Barron, now 19, admired Andrew and spoke with him over Zoom last year. According to Justin Waller, a mutual friend who was on the call, during the phone call, they discussed their shared belief that the Romanian criminal case against them, which is one of many against the Tates, was an effort to silence them. After Mr. Trump's re-election, some of the Tate supporters ascended into the new administration. One of them, the diplomatic envoy Richard Grenell, twice discussed their case with Romanian officials, probably trying to get them to drop it and move on from trying to go after Andrew Tate. And this is a similar point that their lawyer has actually made about the Trump administration, that they were so involved in the MAGA sphere, in the right-wing online personality crap, that Donald Trump should help them because the Tate brothers helped Donald Trump get elected. He said this in some interviews with Vanity Fair. Joseph McBride, a longtime lawyer for the brothers, said that any hypothetical intervention from Trump would, quote, still take away from the fact that we could say that we were right all along. Still, he insisted that such backing would be warranted. Quote, Andrew Tate was a material participant in ensuring Donald Trump's victory, he said, and quote, if Trump doesn't support him and if the next people who are going to be running for office potentially are just like, yeah, down the river he goes, that young cohort of people will break with the Republican Party in the next election. He also saw it as a given that MAGA couldn't afford to lose his clients, writing on Instagram, quote, AOC will be the next president without the manosphere and Andrew Tate, which sounds pretty good to me. Quote, if your superhero is betrayed by somebody, he tells me, the person who's betrayed them, how can you support them ever again? So, like, sort of a threat toward the Trump administration, saying like, hey, you gotta support us, and if you don't, there are going to be some problems. But so far, the White House said that they will not intervene in their extradition and that they will honor the request from Great Britain. As I said at the beginning, it would not surprise me if Donald Trump actually did end up getting involved in helping out the Tate brothers, whether it be for because he's morally aligned with them, whether it be for political reasons, who knows? It wouldn't surprise me. But this weird relationship that they have going on behind the scenes that is being investigated by Democrats right now, or at least there is a request to investigate it by Democrats because, unfortunately, they are not in the majority and can't often launch stuff by themselves without blocking, having the Republicans block them. A lot of weird questions here is the point I'm trying to make. So look, I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about the story and everything we just discussed. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we will talk soon.